Reports of navigation systems of Indian Air Force aircraft being spoofed or jammed during the recent relief operations in Myanmar have created headlines and brought back the dangers of a new trend in international aviation where military actors are known to use powerful systems to target hostile drones, which end up also confusing in-cockpit instrumentation of commercial airliners. This can result in chaos. The number of jamming and spoofing incidents is only growing. A statement by the Indian Air Force yesterday confirming that its military transports face serious interference with their navigation systems while operating over Myanmar airspace during relief operations is the latest reminder of the serious threat. So what is global positioning system spoofing and jamming? Consider this. Now, this is what a normal cockpit instrument looks like. What you see on your screen shows the location of the aircraft, the date and the time, and there are no alerts whatsoever. Now look at the image which is there in the middle. This particular image shows GPS blocking taking place. GPS signals are being blocked with radio interference to stop a receiver from finding its location. This is happening on the same instrumentation where you are not able to get the location at all of where you are. And finally, perhaps the most dangerous, GPS spoofing. That's what you see on the image right to my side. Now, GPS spoofing tricks a GPS receiver into thinking it's somewhere else. So the data that you actually see on the image on the extreme right shows a different location, a different date, and a different time. And on the instrument to its immediate right are a series of warnings that have come up. So it's wrong data which can result in confusion to pilots. And there's immediate danger of confusion in the cockpit on the precise location of the aircraft as a result. This increases the chance of an accident. Now, the ground proximity warning system, now that's a crucial safety system, can be falsely triggered, again resulting in confusion in the cockpit. Weather radars can be impacted, that's a safety hazard. The runway awareness and advisory system is an aircraft safety system that also uses GPS and onboard sensors to provide pilots with real-time audio and visual alerts about their position relative to runways and taxiways. That can stop functioning. In March this year, just last month, Parliament was informed by the government that airlines reported 465 incidents of GPS interference and spoofing affecting aircraft navigation systems in and around Amritsar and Jammu, as you can see over there on the screen, near the Pakistan border between November 2023 and February 2025. That's right, the border between India and Pakistan is notorious for GPS jamming and spoofing activities. But the highest level of spoofing is in the Eastern Mediterranean that you can see, but also Lebanon, Cyprus, Egypt, and over Iraq. That's all of what you see in this image. Other areas of significant spoofing include the Black Sea and Western Russia. There's a war happening there. In a 2023 statement to airlines, India's aviation watchdog, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation said that it's coming out with an advisory on what to do. And the statement is quite clear that the aviation industry is grappling with uncertainties because of new threats. And this is what they've been referring to. But is all lost? In fact, international aviation remains quite safe because multiple aircraft use multiple navigation systems like inertial navigation and ground-based radio aids alongside GPS, which we've been referring to. And these redundant systems ensure that pilots can navigate accurately even if global positioning system signals are disrupted, as I've described, by jamming or by spoofing. Vishnu Shom for NDTV. Captain Sam Thomas, President of the Airline Pilots Association of India, with us now. Captain Thomas, how serious is this threat?
Good evening, Vishnu. This is real serious, and there are varying degrees of seriousness to this. Now, as you explained very clearly in your visual, the GPS jamming is the least of the problems. Now, there's a difference between GPS jamming and GPS spoofing. Now, GPS jamming is using of radio signals to basically block GPS signals. And like you very rightly said, airplanes have redundant systems and pilots are trained to utilize other systems like the non-directional beacons, the very high frequency omni radio range, or the IRS and various systems like that, and is not of much concern at the moment. Now, spamming or spoofing, on the other hand, is very dangerous. That is not easily detectable until you are really vigilant, and there is a delay in the aircraft systems in recognizing this problem. And that can lead to serious infringement, and also your aircraft might end up in restricted airspace which are governed by the military, and they would be authorized to take action. And that is the serious danger in this particular issue of GPS spoofing.
Captain Thomas, have you ever encountered this?
Yes, I have. And
So how does it manifest? Or how did it manifest in your case?
Uh, Now, while flying over regular routes, you generally tend to always look out, because we are from the older generation of pilots. We were taught first on something called dead reckoning, where you always match the features on the ground to whatever your instruments were seeing. This was a kind of cross check. And out of habit, that becomes, second nature. And we generally keep looking at it. And there are certain features which would, say, for example, cross you after 1.5 hours of your flight on your right. Somehow you see it exactly below your flight path. That's a kind of sort of red herring that you would have to take cognizance of, and then cross check with your instruments. And shortly thereafter, a message invariably comes up saying GPS data unreliable. So words to that effect on the screens on the ACARs, and we take action based on that. Now, the more you are dependent on technology, you are susceptible to these kind of attacks. Now, as long as it's an erroneous instrumentation or an instrument error, it's fine. But when it's done with a sinister kind of intent, then you are in big trouble.
All right, Captain, thank you very much for explaining that to us in very simple terms.